Just lying here on the floor, cold towels, my feet against the door. How long have I been in this space? Arms over eyes, help me retrace. How did I become the doormat here? Memories spinning around my head seem pretty cavalier. Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's emotional. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Do you leave me a warning thinking I'm the one to blame? From my heart has made it pretty clear. Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's emotional. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Do you leave me a warning thinking I'm the one to
You want to make your fantasy sports league more than a fantasy? Hold my baby. Mike! Then you need Trophy Smack.
It's the #1 store for fantasy and tournament trophies, belts, draft boards, loser awards, and other ridiculous products. Click the link and get free shipping.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting on Saturday night coverage of the World Series of Sim Racing Roasted Gems Cup Series here tonight. Yes, it's hard to see, but there's a track down there where the drivers are going to be heading to that of Japan for Twin Ring Motegi's Grand Prix course. The first time of 2 opportunities to race here at Twin Ring. This first attempt is going to be on the road course aspect of the course. Next time we're here in a few weeks, they will be on the oval version, but tonight they have to tackle this 2.9 mile of a course that has 14 corners, 8 going right, 6 going left, and it's going to be a handful all the way through as the drivers get ready for race number 4 of the season. It's been a good one so far as drivers are underway with qualifying currently. We got done with practice, and drivers were trying to get used to this aspect of racing as they're going to be dealing with this the weather conditions. We're also going to be having a little bit of a harder time to see the drivers, but you will be able to see them once we get to racing action, as this is race number 4, coming off of some great finishes these last couple of weeks. We started off the season at Daytona, where that of Brian P. Johnson got himself into victory lane, winning there for race number 1. Race 2 at Texas, we got to see the duel of Zach Hall and Vincent Sora, where Vinny got himself the victory. Last week, Cedric Hunter thought he could beat out the 2-time champ Vincent Sora, was not able to. At North Wilkesboro, Vinny gets his 2nd win of the season, but tonight, based off of what practice was showing, we could be seeing some dominance from some drivers if they can race clean here this evening, as the drivers are currently out on track. Like I said, qualifying underway, as we are about halfway through qualifying. The drivers had 10 minutes in total to put down their fastest times, as they'll given 2 laps to do so. On top of those 10 minutes, as you see on screen, it's going to be that of Christopher Norris currently on track. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're excited for the coverage again on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me shortly is going to be that of Robert Moyer Jr., as Trevor Earhart had prior obligations and was not able to show up here tonight, but he will be here tomorrow night, as we're going to be having ourselves a special event, as we are going to be having the Dave Bush Celebration of Life event, celebrating Dave Bush, who is currently dealing with terminal illness, but one last hurrah for Dave, as we have a special event at Michigan. More details later on in the broadcast talking about that event. And as well, we'll have a special guest joining both myself and Trevor up in the booth, as Christopher Norris getting ready for his first time to come clocking in. You see already some drivers top of the board, and the driver that's on top of it, the driver to beat from practice, that's Aaron Smith II. But in second place, a little bit of a different showing, it's Vincent Sora in the 15. He was about that of 3rd or 4th fastest during practice. Ryan Bird was the 2nd fastest for most of practice. It certainly is going to be an interesting night. Like we said, these drivers tackling a course they've never been to before, and none of the NASCAR vehicles have ever been to. The WSSR wanted to try something different, and they certainly have done so, coming here to Twin Ring Motegi. And whenever we go to a weird, wacky track that the drivers have never been to before, it always seems like it's myself and Robert Moyer. Robert, welcome to the booth, and man, thank you for doing double duty of producing and also commentating here tonight. Man, how are you feeling coming into tonight's race?
I'm feeling pretty good, Sam. Hopefully everybody's going to enjoy tonight's show, as I think it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to get crazy here. As you said, we don't know much about this track, and well, we know a little bit, but we haven't seen these guys on here too often.
Yeah, taking a stock car to this track, it is very different. Usually this course is for that of the one-seater open-wheel drivers, or to that of seeing the drivers that are dealing with having themselves in that of the MotoGP vehicles. So there's a lot of different things that these drivers are going to have to learn with this Cup car. I've been watching a lot of factors on the fact of trying to learn where is the true speed for themselves. Where can you maximize the attempts here? They've got 14 corners that they're going to be dealing with overall. In tonight's race, there are no stage breaks. They're also going to have no fast repairs to work with. They're going to have 4 extra sets of tires in pit road to work with. But due to this tire model, drivers are used to not taking tires with this vehicle. Let's see who will be the one to change up and maybe take tires. Will that backfire, or will it be an advantage? We'll have to watch and see, as they're only going to have that at 30 laps to run here tonight. Well, I think we got Robert's microphone working here tonight. Robert, again, it's exciting to be racing here. Drivers heading to Japan. First time for anyone to really see stock cars on this track. I was even trying to look up the times in iRacing broadcasts and other broadcasts if anyone's ran a stock car at this track, and I found no footage at all. This is
Really?
a brand new adventure for these drivers and anyone else that's watching.
Wow, that's shocking, on iRacing's platform that you haven't found anything like that. But, well, yeah, there's always something good for the first time, right? So now we can say World Series of Sim Racing been the first ones to bring the Gen 7s to this track, and then we'll have some footage, Sam, to share out to iRacing and everybody else out there.
Yeah, I mean, get to share the footage when we can see the drivers. I think the fog
Yeah,
is going to be
right.
the more interesting factor for these drivers here tonight, which could be something we could bring up right now because I think that the track temp, everything's going to play pretty similar from qualifying to the race trim, and it's going to be an interesting overall because they're dealing with 100% humidity here tonight with the fog, as
yeah.
well as dealing with a hot track temp, and as well the ambient temperature being decently warm. Drivers are going to be dealing with a lot in the factor of visibility being the big factor to touch on, as well as shifting. There's going to be a lot of shifting up and down through the gears. They've got 5 gears to work with these Gen 7 stock cars. What was more interesting here, Robert, when I was watching some of the drivers through practice, a lot of them weren't really using the top 2 gears. It was a lot of first, second, and third gear utilization, and every once in a while they would top up into 4th gear. So there's going to be a lot of high revs the drivers are dealing with on a course that actually seems to be really slow at times. So you have to be hitting your marks perfectly at every corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, and shifting, you got to watch how you shift too there, Sam. If you downshift too late, you could hurt that motor. And that's the last thing you want to do, of course, as we're watching Larry right now out here on the track. But the second thing you want to do is you really got to watch your brake temperatures too. You're going to get these brakes heated up pretty hot, and the last thing you want to do is start having a little bit of brake failure, because you do have brake failure in iRacing, and it can happen. So you don't see it very often, but drivers will know when the brakes are not working the way they should.
And Larry giving us a great picture of what we're going to be seeing here for all of these drivers. At least one pit stop here tonight. And Larry showing how narrow, and if you have tires that are heated up, how difficult it potentially could be. As qualifying has come to a conclusion, gain a little look of the road course as well as the oval course, as the drivers are going to be driving through the tunnels and into the infield at times, and even outside of the oval course. It certainly is a unique track here in Japan at Twin Ring Motegi. But the drivers get ready for 30 laps here this evening, and let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight, as that of the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. Certainly qualifying has shown some of the top tier drivers, as qualifying results is sponsored by Collie's Mom. Collie's Mom sponsored that of the qualifying results last season, hoping for her son to be top of the board every race. Well, he did at race 1, but the disappointment has continued ever since then, though, as Aaron Smith II going to be taking the pole award in first place. That of Brian P. Johnson, winner at Daytona, going to be in 2nd position. Vincent Sora, one of the favorites whenever we come to a road course, going to be in 3rd. Chad Wilkes going to be in that 12 machine, racing in 4th position to start here tonight. Larry Yingling still trying to get his hands on control, get his hands in control of this vehicle here in the Gen 7s, as he'll be starting in 5th place. Ryan Bird, kind of a disappointment in the qualifying run. He'll be in 6th position. Brandon Colley falls all the way down to 7th place for the 1 machine. Zach Hall, another road course specialist, all the way down in 8th position. With Eric Rollick in 9th, 10th goes to that of Tom Senchek. Cedric Hunter going to be starting up 11th position, with Christopher Norris in 12th. Driver also we know that can run pretty well at road courses, spat down there in the middle of the field. He's got to go through this track in this field very gingerly. Tyler Dangler going to be in 13th position. Going to be also seeing that of the 56 of Richard Wolsifer, really picking up his pace from that practice to qualify in the 56, hoping for that extension and growth to continue on into the race. Rich Jamison going to be in 15th. Thomas Walter going to be in that of 16th position for the 04. Jamie Lee Dunning in 17th. A newcomer having their debut race here tonight. It's going to be that of Corey Annis, going to be in that of the number 7 and 18th. That of Sean McCafferty going to be in 19th. James Kaufman going to be in 20th. Kyle Rochelle in 21st. Brad Delth in 22nd position. Bob Skinner in 23rd. And James Hackworth Jr. finishing out our 24 drivers here tonight. Everyone's stacked up, ready to get rolling here this evening, as all the drivers set and prepared for 30 laps. No stage break here tonight, as they're about to get themselves sent off into the green here this evening. Aaron Smith II, this is the best opportunity he's had all season to have a great finish for himself. Great to see the 70 machine back out there on track with the WSSR. Last season, we expected a lot from the 70 machine. Here this season, hoping for some glory here at Twin Ring Motegi. It's the Grand Prix course here tonight in Japan, and we are getting into the restart zone. Race number 4 is green here tonight as they roar down into turn number 1. Turns 1 and 2, great places to try to make some passes here quickly, as they're going to be side by side. Drivers trying to slow down, hit their braking points, and rev right back up into the straightaway to head down into turn number 3. Yes, there's fog out in the sky, but the drivers scattering to where they can attack as they're going into another great braking zone. Vincent Sora got to be trying to make the pass here on the 28, but Brian Johnson holds steady to the inside as they go around the long carousel. Drivers having issues in the middle of the field, as it's going to be that of James Kaufman as well as Tom Senchek into the grass, as the rest of the field seeing themselves scatter. They'll hold on for now. For the majority of the field, they go through and get set up for the more technical side of the road course. This is the middle section where our leaders are heading into now.
As we watch Aaron Smith head into that area there, Sam, and he's looking pretty good right now, taking it nice and easy. I'm not sure if I see his paint scheme right. Are you just seeing the yellow car there, sir? Because
that's his scheme. That is what Aaron always runs. It doesn't matter what car it is always a pure yellow, or it's got that Roast Gems coffee on it. That is what I've always seen Aaron Smith's second run.
All right, well, we're watching them come down here to the last turn, I do believe. I don't even know the track layout, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologize for that, as I do believe, yep, okay, they're heading into the last turn here, and looks like Aaron Smith is going to lead it over Brian Johnson and Vincent Sora for the first lap here tonight.
You know what's crazy, Robert? It looks like it. That's actually the start of where the MotoGPs would start their race. They're actually on the long backstretch that's getting into the last 5 corners of this track, where they go through the tunnel and into the infield of the oval course now is where the drivers head into. The last chicanes is where they find 13 and 14, and that wiggleness that we saw from the 28 there, that's what drivers are going to deal with a lot here this evening as they're building up the speed and the heat into these tires. As lap number 1 goes to the 70 machine of Aaron Smith II. And Aaron Smith II, during practice, shocking numbers from the 70 machine, Robert. He was almost a full second faster than third place.
Wow.
Third place was Vincent Sora. Second fastest was Ryan Bird, who's currently all the way back in 4th place, still trying to make his march forward. And also, we've got reports of drivers that got disconnected in the beginning of this race. That's Richard Wolsifer in the 56. He's gotten reconnected back on course and is going to be going at least 1 lap down. Hate to see that for a driver, especially on the fact that we do not have a full course yellow to restart this race, as Vincent Sora trying to close in here as our leaders come down into that at turn number 7.
Yeah, turn number, whatever you said, 7. I guess this would be turn number 8, if I'm counting right. I did go to school. Anyways, we're watching Aaron Smith there, like you said. Vincent Sora trying to get on home, but Aaron Smith, man, looking good. But, you know, you brought up the name there, Sam, Brian Bird. Somebody we don't talk about too much, but at the same time, he's been on a roll here lately at WSSR here. He's got some good finishes. I see a difference in his racecraft that he had here, you know, at the beginning of the season and end of last season and the beginning of this season. He just seems to become one of them. He's getting stronger and stronger and stronger as the season goes on.
Yeah, and you got to give kudos still to our late Apex team with Kyle Rochelle, Tom Senchek, and as well that of Ryan Bird. Ryan has been, you know, the start of the season at Daytona. You saw late Apex running so well and dominating that race. They didn't get the finishes that they wanted as a team, as Ryan came away with his worst finish of 13th, but it has been a growing, you know, ever since then. Race number 2, he finished 12th, 1 position better than he did at Daytona, and then last week coming away with a 6th place finish. And here tonight, running 4th and running down our top 3 is the 49 machine. And you know, it's always interesting when you come to road courses. We just had a road course ran on Tuesday for that of the Full Send Racing Series, as we got to see the trucks at that of Watkins Glen trying to attack for themselves there. But when we see these next-gen Cup cars coming to racetracks, it's so odd because we always talk about tire wear with other cars at road courses. Tire wear is not a thing that you really deal with at all with these cars. It's more of how much heat have you built up into the car. You can overheat the tires, but most of the time you are just putting good heat in to allow you to put faster and faster lap times in. And with the recent update that came in from iRacing, it still did not affect these tires. They're still the same wear and tear that they've been dealing with, meaning that if drivers take tires under their green flag pit stop, which green flag pit stops, the window opens here in just about that of 2 to 3 laps. So drivers, when they come into pit road, they easily, if they take tires, put themselves at a disadvantage. And we fall back to look at Zach Hall, who is usually one of our road course ringers, right now battling with Larry Yingling for 6th place.
And back here battling with Larry, but I have to say, just looking at this, what possessed him to do that kind of paint scheme?
I mean, there's a couple of different reasons why. I mean, you think of Japan, you think of their flag, it's that of the white border with the red circle as the red sun for drivers. So some of them going with the more of the white and red scheme, and that's where Zach's finding himself in a comfortable spot running this amazing scheme. I mean, I'm loving it.
I actually
the only
like
thing
it.
for the 42 is we got reports before coming to this race, and it was the same issues he had last week in North Wilkesboro. We thought it was a connection issue. Well, it wasn't internet connection issues. It was connection for his wheel being disconnected from him, from that of his system. So that's why he would randomly jump up to the high line, is because his system was trying to reconnect and almost completely destroying this car. And he was saying there were moments during practice where it was disconnecting. It's going to be a scare for himself if it randomly happens again. Behind them, it's the battle of the ones. You got the one machine of Brandon Colley and Eric Kralik in the 0-1, right on top of one another for 8th place.
Back here battling, but yeah, okay, well, go back to, as these two are battling here for 8th, 9th position here, Sam, go back to what you were saying about tires. The tires don't affect these cars too much. Okay, so what laps, sir, are we looking at on pit stops here?
There's a couple of different mindsets you can go with the pit stops. You can pit early, which that window is going to open up, like I said, in the next lap or so, as Eric Kralick's going to be overzealous into that corner. You saw the brake rotors glowing, but they did not slow down the 0-1. He'll go off track and lose that position that he was trying to advance on. But the tire-wise, pit stops will open at that moment, but you're not expected to take tires. So if you're seeing someone take tires, most likely they're going based off the old tire models and other vehicles that you kind of race, that where there is a very aggressive tire wear model that those vehicles are dealing with. We're expecting drivers as well. You either pit early, some might pit at the halfway, so around lap 15 to 16, and some might push their fuel all the way to the end, which is going to be around lap 25 to 26. So there's a lot of different times when you might think about coming into pit road. As up front's been Aaron Kralik being the biggest person who's lost a lot of ground. Some other drivers, though, in the back half of the field struggling to stay out on track for themselves, as some of the best battles deeper in the field going to be for that of 12th position, where drivers are on top of one, well, close to being on top of one another, with that Rich Jameson as well as Tom Senchek. But let's take a look at this machine. We got to see how close he was to victory lane. That was Cedric Hunter coming away 2nd place last week at North Wilkesboro. Still rocking with the Steve Parks throwback scheme on the 13 as he's closing in on that of the battle for 10th place with Tyler Dangler, Christopher Norris, and as well as Cedric Hunter in 12th position.
12th position, Cedric Hunter. Yeah, he brings that paint scheme back as we see somebody go way off track. And
that's Rich Jameson.
That's Rich Jameson. And I think these guys are struggling. From what I can see, Sam, is it the brakes that they're struggling with? That the car's just not, braking the way it should? Or are they just overdriving that corners?
I think it's mainly just overdriving the corners.
Okay.
And a lot of these drivers, this is a track that you don't traditionally go to with stock cars. You never see this. As Christopher Norris trying to go for the pass here on Tyler Dangler. It's hard to see. That's the fog that's causing visibility issues. As you're going to see, Cedric going to give a little bit of the draft assistance to the 38, but blinking 16 could certainly give you a scare. Not a lot of space to work with. This Hunter going to go the long way around and will make the pass cleanly on Dangler. But, with the driver struggling here, I think a lot of it's just overdriving, carrying too much speed into the corners than you're expecting. Some might not be downshifting when they should be, because downshifting is another way to try to slow down a little bit faster if your brakes are struggling. So there's a lot of different aspects of downshifting at the right time so you don't spin out. If you should downshift too early, you can spin out or blow your engine. If you shift too early, too late, you're already going to miss the braking point to struggle spot. And speaking of struggle spot, further up the field, Ryan Bird was catching up to our top 3. He goes off track, coming to the final chicane, and actually just got passed by that Chad Wilkes, who's the 12 machine. We haven't seen Chad Wilkes racing very often, but he's having a pretty good run for himself after getting by the driver, the 49, Ryan Bird, who just went off track.
Yeah, you went off track, you got around here now. Like you said, he's up here running in 4th position. Don't talk to him too much, but he looks like he's got a knack on there. Yeah, you can see the fight and exiting here. Car just looks slippery, but yeah, I mean, good run for him so far right now there, Sam.
An excellent run by the 12th machine, just like Aaron Smith II. Debut race here tonight as these drivers continue to try to march their way through. Currently, this 12 machine just coming out of the exit of turn number 4, heading down in turn number 5. It's one of the the third longest stretch for these drivers as they enter turn number 5. Here is the 12 machine going through that of the tunnel, out of the oval course and into the outside of the oval course. Currently is the 12 now, as he's going into the S's and kind of the more technical part of this track where you're trying to figure out ways to carry a lot of speed and trying to figure out what gear to stay in. Some drivers like to stay in 3rd, others like to downshift into 2nd, and down here into another hard braking zone, getting ready for that of the hairpin corner, out of the stretch and down back into the gas. Chad Wilkes is hoping that a mistake will happen from our top 3. They're trying to close in with one another into this hairpin, going with a much higher apex, trying to get on to the long stretch. This is the long back stretch for these drivers, maximizing your speed, going up through the gears. This is when you have a potential chance of going into 4th, and if you're hitting your marks perfectly, maybe even up to 5th gear. And you see the markers on that of the right side, on the left side, and even moving on the right side, giving you those braking meters on when you need to hit on your brakes into the last chicane. Some drivers trying to maximize their speed if they can at these markers, but you also can lose a lot of time by misjudging, and that is going to be basically a lap around here at Twin Ring Motegi's GP course, as the 12 giving you an excellent reason on why you need to just stay steady, smooth, and you'll hit your marks just fine, as we are 7 laps into our 30 here this evening.
That's right. Sorry, Sam, just reading something there. Yeah, so we're watching back here. We still got a battle going back here, though, for the 11th, 12th position. Christopher Norris is going to be falling back to 12th position. Looks like Cedric Hunter jumped him in front there, Sam. So still got some little bit of hard battling going on back here, ladies and gentlemen, in 7th position. Hopefully everybody's enjoying tonight's show here with Robert Moyer and Sam Dyer calling all the action here at WSSR Cup Series, brought to you by Roasted Gem. Don't forget to go to Roasted Gem Coffee and put in the promo code WSSR to get a discount on your purchase. But yeah, Sam, good racing so far. There's not much action going on right now, and I think we were kind of ready for this to happen. You know what I mean? Guys are just going to settle in, race each other, and the only way to make a pass is if somebody actually, sends it off into the sand pit area. That, from what I'm seeing right now, it's just everybody got way spread out. There's no stage cautions here to bring everybody back together. So, where you sit is where you sit. Then the only way to make positions up is entering and exiting pit road.
Yeah, and also trying to make it as smooth as possible. Some drivers, they're going to be learning throughout the race on how to pick up a little bit of speed here or there. But if you're wanting to energize yourself throughout the day, best way to do it is with some Roasted Gems coffee. If you'd like to get yourself some premium quality coffee that's got new flavors all the time, go to that roastedgems.com. Use the promo code WSSR for 5% off on your next purchase of coffee. As you get to see here on your bottom right, riding on board with Christopher Norris, as Norris has got his driver cam trying to stay connected with the machine of Thompson check, who's going through all the corners and bends, as gonna be seeing the 8 machine into pit road, one of our first early takers to come into pit road. Gonna take fuel, expecting no tires from the 8 machine, as Christopher Norris gonna be trying to find a way to run down Cedric Hunter and try to find some consistencies as 38, who just seems to be struggling just to stay on track at this current moment.
Yeah, a lot of people up front of him right now. like you said, Sam, it looks like he's struggling just a little bit, but his last lap time was 2.0005, and these leaders up here are running like 156s, 157s, give or take. So he's off a little bit, but maybe this, I know Christopher Norris is trying to learn how to do road courses a little bit better, but maybe this tonight, maybe it's not his night.
It does not seem like it is, and we're just expecting a little bit more from Norris at road courses when we go to these courses, just because he seems to be a lot more naturally gifted at road courses when it comes to those compared to some of the other oval tracks that we go to. But 38, maybe he just needs a little bit more practice time, but he's struggling at this moment, and certainly everyone doing their best at this time out there on track. And for some of the drivers, with the way that the fog is, maybe it's giving you some pictures that you want of your car, or maybe you want to get your own photos on that. Of a great way to show off your amazing photos is with that of a wall smack. Trophy Smack, one of the head sponsors here at WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series, have a product named the Wall Smack. Wall Smack is a stainless steel high gloss work of art that completely is customizable for you, and as well comes with their wall safe magnet mounting system. All you have to do is go to that of trophysmack.com, go to that of the Wall Smack, upload your photo, and bam, you've got yourself some Wall Smack art to put on anywhere you would like. Again, go check out that of Trophy Smack and use the code WSSR Cup to go get your 10% discount code on any purchase you want. As Trophy Smack doesn't just have their wall smack, they've also got that of championship trophies with trophies, rings, and championship belts for you to have for yourself. Go check out Trophy Smack today, as we are coming up to that of 10 laps in the race. Right now our leaders at a second difference at this time. That of Aaron Smith II still leads the way. As we're coming up to a third of a race done, we're going to step aside for a quick moment. When we come back, more great racing action here at WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series, as it is race number 4 here in Japan at Twin Ring Motegi. Hear all your coverage here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got ourselves 20 laps to go of our 30 here this evening. As you are watching on Freaky Fast Broadcasting your Saturday night, it's the WSSR Roast to Gems Cup Series, as they are at here Twin Ring Motegi's Grand Prix course for round number 4 of the regular season. And for that of WSSR Cup Series, they're presented by Roasted Gems Coffee. Roasted Gems Coffee, remember you'll use promo code WSSR for 5% off on your great quality coffee today. And as well, Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack is one of the best places to go if you want to find yourself getting some customizable trophies. Hey, it could be that of failing a trophy, or it could be for being the champion. Go get yourself a custom championship belt, ring, trophy, and more at TrophySmack.com using the promo code WSSR Cup. You can get yourself 10% off on any purchase. As we are currently seeing Aaron Smith II leading the way for the 70 machine. He has been dominating here tonight. Vincent Sora at moments was closing into less than a half a second, but it has just been a clinic as the 70 machine has grown out the lead to over 2 seconds, and it continues to grow to that of Vincent Sora in the 15 machine in second place. Vinny, the two-time champ, is a two-time winner so far this season, as he is trying to get his 3rd win in just that of 4 races. Can it be done? It might be a tough task, as tonight he's got to beat out that 70 machine. Well, the other driver that got a win this season, it's the TrophySmack.com 28 of Brian P. Johnson, who runs in 3rd place, and this is a quality run from the 28 machine. Maybe not going for the win, maybe banking on some mistakes from our front runners, but a great job for himself. Aaron Smith II's having a debut race, so is the 12 for Season 6 for these drivers. Chad Wilkes in the 12 Monster Energy Drink machine, currently in 4th position. Based off of raw speed, might be able to hold off the driver behind him, as the 12 has been looking clean and consistent. Speaking about clean, it's the cleanness scheme out there. It's the Freaky Fast Broadcasting Category 5 Esports machine of Zach Hull in the 42, currently in 5th place, just trying to find a consistent run. Based off his last couple of laps, he has been running faster than the drivers ahead of him and is looking for an opportune chance to climb into our top 3. Then you fall back to 6th position. This is where we find that of Larry Yingling in the 67. One of the drivers that is known for being fast in the past here in the WSSR. He was quick back in the Gen 6 Cup machines, took a couple of years off, and is back into racing. The original 2-time champ, Larry, is looking to get himself into victory lane, but right now, a great consistent run. Then back in 7th position, it's going to be that of Brandon Colley in the 1 machine. That going to be seeing the Dutch Bros, Coffee, having a great run so far for himself. Qualified 7th, running 7th. Hey, some drivers are just looking for that consistent run to be on track. Maybe they're not looking to gain positions, but just get a great points day, and that is what the 1 machine is looking for. The driver that's on the move, though, 8th spot in the Steve Parks throwback scheme from last week. He wants to continue it on after interviewing with 13 last week after his 2nd place performance. That is Cedric Hunter, usually in the pink Hello Kitty machine, deciding to stick with the yellow, and it has been all green on moving up through the positions. 13 finds himself in 8th spot, a great run so far, but a driver that has gone backwards. It's that of Ryan Bird, has had a couple of slip-ups, but the main reason on why he's fallen back, decided to go with strategy call, pitting early than everyone else about 4 laps ago. The 49 machine is hoping this early pit stop is going to allow him to gain time on his competitors. Then the last driver in our top 10, Christopher Norris in the 38, trying to just stay consistent. He's up 2 positions from where he qualified and is just trying to learn and get faster, but he's about to be under fire if he does not be quick, as he's got some trouble behind him. Robert, what's the other drivers looking like out back there in the field?
All right, Sam. Well, that is your top 10 rundown. Let's go to the back half of the field here, like you said, and we're going to be looking at Aaron Kralik here in that number 01 Tide machine. Back here running, having a decent show. Went off the track a little bit, but he's trying to get some pace and at least try to finish up in the top 10, as he's going to try to hunt down that driver of the 38 of Christopher Norris. And we come back here running in 12th position. We got Tom Simchek in that late Apex machine there, running pretty good, trying to keep the car on track. not looking too bad right now there, Sam, as he is running in 12th. And then we have somebody making a pit stop here with 17 laps to go. We got Richard Jamerson. As we've seen him go off track, you can see he's got a little bit of damage there on the right side of that machine. Hooter's machine, he's going to come in and fix that car up, maybe not take no tires, because that is something we don't do at road courses in the Gen. He's just going to fill up, top off, and out he goes, running in 15th position. Then we come back here to 16th position, up 6th position right now with Tom Walters getting by him right now here, Brad, in that number 14 machine, trying to get in at least the top 15. Haven't talked to him about much, but he's having a good show here. And just passing him would be Thomas there in that 04 machine. Just came back here to WSSR after being off for a little bit and decided he wanted to come out and race with his friends. And looking pretty good there as he goes off track just a little bit. But he's running in the top 15, trying to have a good run for him. And then we come back here to the 21 machine, another late Apex machine of Kyle Rochelle, having a decent run. He is actually up 3 positions of his starting position here tonight, so he's going to try to just hold position with 16 laps to go and finish out this race, and hopefully nothing bad happens to him. Then we come back here to Kaufman in that number 25 machine. He's up 1 position. Haven't talked or seen much about him in that iFlag machine. Looking pretty good right now, just staying out of trouble there and trying to keep the car on track and finish out the race here. You know, he's not looking for anything more than just that. Then we come back here to James Hackworth Jr. running in 20th position and actually looking good in that Sunoco machine there. Nice little paint scheme in that 23 machine. But anyways, for James, he's up 4 positions, and road racing fits his style more than oval racing. So this is no shock to see him having a decent run finally this season, and maybe he can finish it out and maybe fight the battle here with 16 laps to go to get up into the top 15. And then we come back here to the 17 machine, back here running all by himself. Haven't seen much about him, but he's keeping it on track. Looks like he's just pacing around, trying to take it easy and keep the car on track and finish out tonight's race. And then we come back here to Richard in that number 56 machine. At the beginning of the race, as we all know, he had a little bit of connection. He fell out of the server, came back, and unfortunately, he is now back here a couple laps down and going to try to fight his way back up through the field and hopefully, maybe get on the lead lap or try to finish out and gain a little bit of positions. And then after that, we have Tyler Dingler that in the 19 machine is in pit road right now. It looks like something happened to him. Maybe Sam can let us know a little bit more on that when I hand it over to him. And then finishing out our field here tonight with WSSR Cup Series is going to be Bob Skinner, who was unfortunately didn't get 4 laps in the books and had to call quits here tonight. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your top 24 rundown here, tonight's race here at WSSR Cup, Sam.
Yeah, and a lot of these drivers just trying to survive the best that they can. As Richard Wilsfer, as you were saying there, Robert, unfortunate that he was having issues at the beginning of the race. He is currently 2 laps down and not showing any signs of getting those laps back. Tyler Dangler, though, had to come into pit road, had some extensive damage as he's been going off the track. Same for some other drivers that have been going off the track. That of the 17 of McCafferty, he's been going off the track a couple of times. Kaufman's gone off a couple of times. But certainly these drivers recognizing, hey, we're making some mistakes. Let's just not call it complete quits. Might see some other drivers make their mistakes as well, as there's one by our leader, Aaron Smith II, real wiggly after exiting the corner for himself, giving aspects here for now Vincent Sora to close in the gap. It was over that of 2 seconds at one moment. The gap now down to half a second. And it is closing in quickly as our top 7 still need to come into pit road. There's still a lot of drivers that need to enter pit road at least one time here tonight to get themselves service done. A lot of the drivers have come in just for topping off on fuel, leading the drivers that have topped off on fuel. Ryan Bird in 8th place that's trying to close in the gap the best that he can. And here comes our leader, pit stop for that of Smith II.
Smith is going to pull it in here right now with 15 laps to go. You know, he's just going to go down and get fuel, top it off to finish out tonight's race here. As he said after that little wiggle there, Sam, he said, yep, I think the tires are done. I think it's time to put, well, no, actually not. Let me rephrase that. I do apologize. Tires are okay, but I don't want to say okay, but he is taking tires. Ooh, I didn't think you would take tires at a road course with these. Unless something changed. As we know, this is week 13 here at iRacing, and there was an update. Is there something different now, Sam?
At this moment, no, there was no difference. I mean, this has been a thing that Aaron Smith II has done before in other road courses that we've gone to, and it's been a mistake, in my opinion, of taking the tires, because other drivers take advantage of that. And also for the fact for this 17, it could be the fact that he just doesn't feel confident with how hot he was getting those tires, with how loose he was getting on the exit of the corners. Could have been just a feel factor of, I want to feel a lot more secure with fresh rubber. But on my end, I feel like that's just like too much time. They're giving up for a comfort factor where, honestly, you could be losing a lot more time. And with the decision at the halfway marker for the 70 machine to come into pit road, the big thing that he can at least gain from this is the fact that he's been running so consistent up front that Aaron Bird has not closed in the gap. That was the one driver I was concerned about on coming into pit road for those leaders. Was Brian Bird going to be able to close in the gap at all? Question was answered. He was not. And now for Vincent Sora, for that of Brian Johnson, that as well, going to be the 12 of Chad Wilkes. How much time are they going to be able to gain over that of Aaron Smith II due to the fact that he came into pit road, and with taking tires, that's giving up about 8 seconds of time, putting on all 4 sets of tires. It's going to be a tough call for themselves as the battle for third place starting to heat up. Chad Wilkes, Zach Hall, they're on top of one another.
Yeah, they're on top of one of each other back here for third and fourth position here. Zach Hall's trying to catch him and run him down, which Zach Hall's starting to look a little comfortable and starting to catch Chad there. But back to, Brian Johnson and Vincent Sora, Vincent Sora was right on top of Smith there when he made that pit stop, so he doesn't have a gap there, Sam, to cover himself. Taking them 4 tires and coming out and still be ahead of Vincent Sora. I think he has enough of a gap with Brian Johnson that he might be able to stay in front of Brian Johnson if Brian just goes in and takes fuel only. But Vincent Sora, I don't think he's going to be able to leapfrog him. I believe Vincent Sora should come out in front of him if they have a correct pit stop going in and coming out. And that's the key, entering pit road and then exiting pit road without getting a black flag or getting held or anything like that could just destroy your race here too. So we'll have to see how that all plays out there with the next couple laps here, because like you said, Sam, the question is going to be how long does Vincent Sora and Johnson stay out, because I didn't look at the server settings, but we don't have no yellows, so there's not going to be any green, white checkers, I do believe, because we don't have a yellow.
No yellows are going to be thrown as it's a road course, so there will be no full course yellows. There will be sector yellows on when drivers go off track and have issues for themselves, but overall will be no official yellows thrown to reset any of these drivers, as Vincent Sora continues to try to run his own race at this time of just hitting his marks, trying to pull away after almost setting some of his fastest times these last couple of laps. So the 15 is hitting his mark. In front of him, saw a little bit of smoke. This Brad Delph, as well as behind our leader, got to see a little bit of issue with Kyle Rochelle going off course on top of that. So drivers trying their best to stay on course and not to bring out any more issues, to bring out sector yellows. But it's been a difficult run as Zach Hall now into pit road. And for the drivers that are leading this race, the fuel run that we were given was 25 to 26 laps. That means when our ticker hits that to 5 to go to 6 to go, that will be when these drivers are going to be forced to come into pit road. And for our leaders, that means they still got we got a couple of laps to get their laps in. But Zach Hall topping off on fuel, taking a little bit, feels like he's good, and he's right back out on track.
That is a pit stop, 4-second pit stop for Zach Hall going in, just topping off the fuel and back out. So that's huge for him here. So we'll have to see how this all plays out, ladies and gentlemen, as everybody's starting to make their pit stops here for the final time. here in tonight's event here at WSSR on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to share it, like it, so you can watch us go live basically every night of the week, except for 2 nights we're off. But you'll be able to not miss any action here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the other leagues that we broadcast. And also, don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Facebook, on the social media platforms. As we got 17.
17.
Gone.
Cafferty is going to be going off track, and that has been a regular occurrence for the 17 here tonight. He has been struggling to keep the 17 on course and just clipped the grass, got out of control, and right into the outside barrier for himself. Luckily, though, the damage wasn't significant enough to have required damage, so he'll be able to stay out on track. But you do not want to continuously hit that front bumper over and over again. At some point, something's going to break. The 17, again, now 2 laps down, back in 21st position. It's been a rough run, as this 17 will continue to ride their way. Well, it's 11 laps to go. We're going to take our final commercial break, as when we come back, we'll take you to the end. Still have 5 drivers that need to come into pit road for our front runners. When will they make that pit stop? Expected here in about 4 to 5 laps for themselves, as you're watching the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series at Twin Ring Motegi on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be right back as you go side by side. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the final push here at Twin Ring Motegi Grand Prix for the WSSR Roast Gems Cup Series. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me is Robert Moyer Jr. as we are giving you coverage on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It is race number 4 of the season, and we've seen multiple drivers coming to pit road under that last commercial break. As that Chad Wilkes into pit road, and now it's the race of drivers trying to see who can make it to the end and where will they be. Vincent Sora has already come into pit road, and with that of coming into pit road, taking fuel only, the 15 is up over that of Aaron Smith. The second by that of 5 seconds as when he crossed the line last. And the 15 hoping that's a big enough gap for himself, as that of Aaron has been catching up quickly as he is doing his best to try to find a way to get into victory lane and stop Vincent Sora from being a three-time winner this season, as the only race he has not won was Daytona to start the season off. Robert, that's crazy to think. Vincent Sora, the 2-time champ, we knew he could be dominant at times, but this season, thought maybe things would be a little bit different, but it seems like strategy, not just pure speed, is in the hands of the 15.
Well, that's it. Yeah, he's got speed, like you said. Strategy is playing the key factor of this season so far with him with the past 2 wins. So, and it does it again here tonight, Sam. He's out there with the 5-second lead over Aaron Smith, and Aaron Smith, we're gonna have to see. Like we're saying, he needs to find more speed. He's got fresh tires, but with 7 laps to go, 5 seconds behind, and he's really not catching him no more. Vincent Sora is actually still running faster laps on the older tires than the newer tires. So during the commercial break, Sam, we were both scratching our head going, Aaron, why'd you take tires again there, bud? You shouldn't have done that. Honestly, these cars do not like new tires. Once you get them worn down, you pick up more speed. So again, we'll have to see if Smith can pick up a little bit more speed there, Sam, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and that was, with that conversation we were having during commercial break, it was more of a talk of, it's been over a year since the last true update on the tires for road courses for these, next Gen 7 Cup machines. And it's been the same story through the whole entire stage of the tires don't wear out. They actually get faster as the run goes on. Even if you come into pit road, it's better to just take fuel instead of tires, and you're just going to get faster and faster. And Aaron Smith has been the one driver that just, I don't know if it's because he just wants to fight the system or if he believes in something else, but almost every race we see him taking tires, and it backfires and hurts the 70 machine when he's been the fastest driver at times at courses. But because he doesn't take tires under those pit stops, he gives the upper hand to the rest of the field. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. And because the rest of the drivers behind the 70 machine didn't take tires, they're now on what we would call the faster strategy.
Yeah, right.
The 28 is starting to actually close in on the 70 machine because of that of Aaron Smith now getting his tires heated back up. That cool stage is gone, and now it goes to the advantage of the drivers that already have their tires warmed up from how they were running before. And if this 70 machine has any slip up in these final 6 laps, we're going to be seeing the teammates of Vincent Sora and Brian Johnson once again finish 1-2, which they've done so many times in races before. But I gotta say, I think the driver I'm most impressed with has to be the 12 machine, Chad Wilkes and also Aaron Smith II, both coming in to race their first race of the season here tonight at that of the Twin Ring Motegi course. And this 12 having a very solid and kind of a quiet top 5 run so far.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we don't get to talk much about him, and he's having a great top 5 run here, and we'll see how that all plays out. We seen earlier Larry, he actually running in top 5 in 5th position right now. Unfortunately, went off track a little bit, got it back running, and got the tires all cleaned back up. So now he's going to try to run down Chad there in that number 12 machine, 2 seconds behind him, and see if he can do anything. But yeah, so we'll have to also see what he can do. Come back here to Ryan. Am I seeing this right?
Yeah, Larry has not come into pit road. He stretched his fuel out as long as possible, and that of the 67. Again, it looked impressive like he had been up front with recovering from that mistake, but now we're going to see the actual ramifications of that going off track sequence that he had. As he's going to have to come to pit road. We'll see if Larry's going to take tires or not. I think because he's part of the freaking fast team, yeah, he learned no tires, just fuel. 6-7 will get back out on track, but issues up front. Our leader, Vincent Sora, spun out, and Aaron Smith II is in the lead, and it was contact between that of Richard Wolsifer running into our leader. Oh, no!
Oh, man.
You hate to see that. Richard was trying to get back out on course. He'd gone off track so many times here tonight, and he was on the grass. You have no control set moments, and it looks like it takes out what was our leader and now gives Aaron Smith II back the lead as we're getting the instant replay of the situation. A very unfortunate circumstance, and that shakes up what was looking to be a winning 3 times in a row for that of Vincent Sora. Throw it away as we're going to have this incident happen. The 15 coming into the corner, trying to just hit his marks. It's a normal, just get yourself set up. He's going through the hairpin corner, setting up for the entry into that of turns 12, 13, and 14. And as he's coming out of the exit, there's the 56. He gasses it up too much. T-bones our leader. And with that spin, gives up all of the time that he had for the lead. And that is going to be seeing the yellow machine of the 70 just blasting on by and taking the lead just like that.
Wow. Wow. What a turn of events there for the 15. Now, he got T-bone there. Does that do anything to the left front tire suspension there, Sam? Does it knock it off a little bit? You know, he's going to suffer now. Now, unfortunately, he's 5 seconds behind with damage, and he is not going to be able to catch Brian Johnson, I don't believe, or Smith. But, wow, what a turn in events for Aaron Smith. We questioned something, and now it comes back, and it's going to benefit him because now he's going to have fresher tires. And hopefully he'll be, yeah, you can see the damage on Vince Sora. That car is damaged. You cannot turn.
It's a frustrating thing, and also trying to turn around. It might heat up those tires at the slide as well, and there's a lot of factors that just unfortunately rattled up the 15 machine, and it just does not look as clean or smooth as it once was. That damage, it could have hurt the suspension and the steering column for the 15. Currently does not have a required damage flag, but he's going to do his best to just salvage at least the top 3 finish here tonight. But because of that contact and incident, Aaron Smith II does not just get a clean win. It is second place of Brian P. Johnson, who is currently still within striking distance. It's 4 laps to go, but he's got to run some of the best 4 laps that he's ever ran here in Japan if he wants to get himself in a victory lane, as these drivers hitting the last couple of corners. We'll see when they hit the line what the true difference is going to be on pace. But Brian Johnson got to make sure that he hits his marks, but also doesn't want to just overshadow himself, overcommit to a corner, and just throw away an opportunity as they come across the line. It's going to be a little bit over a second and a half is the difference with 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go here, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see the past 2 laps there. Brian Johnson, 5/10 faster, 3/10 faster, so we'll keep that little timing ticker up there on the bottom when they go across the start-finish line. We'll see if Brian Johnson is gaining or losing, but like you said, it comes down to freshy tires to old tires, and right now the old tires were saying I'm better than the fresh, but we'll see here because now each driver's just got to keep it on pace, keep the car on the road, and not overdrive the turns or do anything, you know, outrageously push the car. Could actually hurt them, Sam. So we'll have to see how this all plays out, ladies and gentlemen.
As Brian Johnson, I think he's also kind of recognizing, man, I just need one of my best laps, and that last go-around was just about that, a 200th slower than his fastest lap that he's ran all race. So that's Fit 28 machine is trying to close in the gap, and it is, if anything, at this moment, he might have to gain time even faster than he did that last lap. A half a second is a great sign to see, but 4/10 is the marker that Brian Johnson needs to hit. 4/10 each lap if he wants to make this pass. If it's less than 4/10, this 28 is in trouble of not being able to commit to this pass, as the drivers hitting the long back stretch. They're not on the front stretch just yet. There's still 5 more corners to go, and then they'll hit the front stretch. So it is certainly a crazy one here tonight as Aaron Smith II, Brian P. Johnson making their moves at this current moment as they go through the final chicanes, trying to make their marks on who's going to be in the better position here. Coming to 2 laps to go. Aaron Smith the second. It was a little bit over a second and a half that last lap, and across the line. Robert, that is not a good sign if you're Brian Johnson to close in on this gap.
No, you can see he's 0.171. That is, and you said 4/10 there, Sam. That's not 4/10, so it's looking really good. 2 laps to go here for Aaron Smith to get not only that, get an international win, but first time ever being here of iRacing with these cars, and then also on top of that, Sam. First win, WSSR will help him for the playoff push too. So right there, that's good signs there. And as he gets this win, if he wants some, awesome paint scheme on an image, he can take this winning image and put it on Trophy Smack.
Yeah, he can get himself a wall smack with lap traffic in the front of our leaders, trying to hold on. Is the 70 machine. Rich Jameson's going to be holding in the preferred lane, which is great for that of Brian P. Johnson, because that means it's going to be slowing down our leader. But Aaron Smith takes it the longer way around. He'll make the pass cleanly on the entry at the corner. That's a great move by our leader. Now Brian Johnson needs to be on the aggressive here, as Rich Jameson just holds his line, forcing the 28 to go low. Is this going to gain any position or time? It doesn't look like the time is there. A poor exit for the 28 machine. And what was supposed to be about a 4/10 gain, it is a gain of nothing after that go around.
Nothing gained there, like you said there, Sam, but we'll see here. Now they made it through traffic and everything, and we'll see what he can do, if he can hold off. So I'm so used to Vincent Sora being up there. Anyways, hold off Brian Johnson in at number 28, and Brian Johnson right now is going for his second win of the season if he can get around Aaron there.
As this is going to be a Roasted Gems Coffee white flag. Go on over to roastedgems.com. Use the promo code WSSR for 5% off, getting your best premium coffee today. Aaron Smith second, leading the charge. As it came across the line, it was actually lost of time for Brian Johnson, as that of Aaron Smith II, still trying to get his first win and could lock in the 70 machine into the playoffs with this one line crossing, as he still got about that of a quarter of the way finished of this last lap. Still 3/4 still to go. Little marks here or there, but there's no lap traffic that's going to be in front of our leader, Aaron Smith II. It's clean sailing. All he needs to do is just hit his marks as we're coming through the last couple of bends here at the halfway marker, the more technical stage of this course, where drivers are trying to carry their speed through that of the corners of 8 to that 7 to 8. Now making the corner through turn number 8 up to turn 9 is this of Aaron Smith II. The last lap here this evening at the Twin Ring Motegi Grand Prix course, and it's been our pole sitter. He had one big up at the beginning, took the lead, pulled away, never really worried about it. Took 4 sets of extras, took a set of freshies under his pit stop. He gave up over 10 seconds of time because of that. Thought this race was over, but a contact between lap traffic and that of Vincent Sora gave away the lead and gave it right back to the 70 machine through the last couple of chicanes. Aaron Smith II, all the woes, all the promises, thought he was going to be the driver to beat last season. Well, maybe it's this season, as it's going to be the 70 machine winning here at Twin Ring Motegi GP and locking himself into the playoffs here for the Cup Series.
Congratulations to Aaron Smith. Finally gets locked into the playoffs. Oh man, I bet he feels good to finally get that win. Get that monkey that people say off your back, and maybe he can start a streak here, Sam. Maybe 3-4 in a row, maybe, as he's got the momentum going. But again, congratulations to Smith for getting his first win here at WSSR.
An absolute incredible win for the 70 machine, and as he gets to have his fun racing around the course, he'll try to get himself settled in and doing some burnouts. And as he's doing so, we are going to step away. When we come back, more racing coverage to give you the post-race show of talking to our top three. We will be right back in just a few moments, so don't turn away. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show here tonight on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. Race number 4 here at Twin Ring Motegi was incredible to watch at times. When you actually could see, the fog was thick and the drama got thicker at the end as Vincent Sora couldn't get to victory lane. Instead, it went to our pole sitter, Aaron Smith II. As we pull him up into victory lane, we got the 70 machine with us. Aaron, it's Sam up in the booth. Man, what a run for yourself here tonight. You get the pole, went for the fresh tires compared to the rest of the field that decided to go with just fuel only, and you come away with the win. How are you feeling after this one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I have my golden horseshoe hanging on the wall over there.
It certainly seemed like a very lucky moment at the end. Aaron, it seemed like everyone going with the fuel only strategy. Was that ever a thought in your mind, or was it always take 4 tires and fuel there?
Well, ever since the update last Wednesday, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't know if they changed the tires to the point where you'd have to take another set, so I figured I would just do it and be safe. But I guess the tires kind of evened out after about 10 laps, so it didn't make much of a difference, and could have lost me the race there. But fortunately, we got lucky.
Certainly did. And also with this win, going to be finding yourself an opportunity chance to make it into the playoffs. It's great to see you back racing here on Saturdays. Is the plan to try to make that push to make the playoffs with enough starts and points?
Well, now that you mention it, I might give it a shot. But I was originally only intending to run this race. It was originally going to be Red Skogan, but they moved it over to Twin Ring, and I was excited about that too. So I figured I would give it a try, and maybe I'll be back next week to try to run the rest of the season out, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, if you don't, Aaron, it was a pleasure to watch you back out on track again and finally get that win. We thought it was going to come last season, but it comes away here in season 6. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone at the World Series of Sim Racing for letting me come by and run this race. Hopefully, I didn't mess up the points too much, and appreciate y'all for broadcasting and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to coming back at it whenever I show up next.
Well, that's going to be the 70 machine of Aaron Smith II. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Congratulations on your win. And if we do see you next week, good luck at that Nashville Super Speedway.
All right, thank you.
As we go from that of first place, let's go to second place to that of Brian P. Johnson, who came away in second place. Maybe it wasn't the thought of second place who's going to get here tonight, but he gets it done. Brian, it's Sam up at the booth. Congratulations. You come away with second in this TrophySmack.com machine. How are you feeling after that one?
Pretty wore out. My feet hurt. It's an easy track to learn, but a tough track to master. I think it works really well with these next gen cars. I'm glad we did decided to do this race, and it was really racy. And unfortunately, tonight, for me, I was the third fastest guy. I kind of realized early on, like, man, Vinny and Aaron, I can't keep up with these guys. I tried, and I was making mistakes. I was like, I'm gonna wreck this car if I try to keep up with them. So I just kind of settled in third place, and I was like, well, when we decide to pit, we'll see where we fall out and see what happens. And then, unfortunately, Vinny got into it with a lap car. Unfortunately, no one's fault really, just kind of one of them things. And so that kind of took him out of the picture. And I was like, well, first place is right in front of me. Let's see if I can go get it. And managed to close the gap a little bit, but coming to the white flag, I had a little bobble coming out of the S's there, and kind of negated all of my chances that I had if I even had one. So, but it was a good race. Aaron, got to give him some congratulations. He was very fast tonight, very consistent, and those two things together are sometimes very hard to do for a complete race. So definitely got to give a shout out to him.
Well, we're moving away from going here in road course racing. We're heading to that of Nashville Super Speedway. How are you feeling going to racing on concrete after going left and right here tonight?
Well, Nashville, I think I may have done like one or two races there, so my experience at that track is fairly low, and just concrete tracks in general. Sometimes they're good for me, sometimes they're bad. Usually, it's not in the middle. Either I'm very quick or very slow. So we'll we'll see what happens. I'm sure I'll do a little bit of practice this week, but it might not even matter because we we had practice for Motegi all week, and there wasn't one foggy session in sight. And then we come into the session today for the race, and you can't see 5 feet in front of you. So it's kind of interesting how iRacing that dynamic weather system works out sometimes. But yeah, we'll do some practice and see. See how fast we are, and I'm sure there's going to be a good group of guys this week that going to practice together. But I'm sure it's going to put on a great show either way.
Oh, we're hoping that's going to be a great show. But Brian, before we let you go, congratulations on second place. The floor is now yours for any shout outs.
I just got to give a shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Definitely appreciate it, and to you guys as well, putting on a great show as always. All of the league admins that help run this thing, and then all the drivers as well. Pretty big numbers for a road course, so definitely appreciate all of them. Roasted Gems, and especially me personally, Trophy Smack. They're a good partner to have, and I'm sure everybody watching has seen the link pop up, and go get yourself a wall smack. Pretty cool. I got mine this past week. It's looking pretty good up there on the wall. So glad left the wall smacks to after the race and not during the race. That's always a good thing. And then uh yeah, that's pretty much it.
It certainly does look to be a special scheme, and having the wall smack, Brian, it was cool seeing Trophy Smack actually tweeting out the fact that they all had theirs on their commercial as well. Congratulations on a top 3 finish, and good luck next week in Nashville.
Thank you, sir.
As we go from second place, we'll go to third place for our spotlight driver, as it was a wild night for a lot all around, but probably not as wild as this driver had. We got Vincent Sora. Vinny, I know this wasn't the night that you wanted, and you probably don't like having this award again. Our wall smack wreck of the race there late with you and Richard Wolsifer making contact with one another. How are you doing after coming away with that third place?
Uh, it could be better. Obviously, that sucks what happened there at the end. But I don't really feel like there was anything else I could have done. I feel like I drove a all right race. This track was actually changed on the schedule, and I bought it I think on Wednesday and didn't run too many laps, but I felt comfortable enough. Obviously, Aaron was super quick. I think he was probably a little bit quicker than I was, but he ended up taking tires on that stop, and I jumped him and just tried to hold on. I thought I probably would have held on if that didn't happen, but I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
That we won't really get to know, but we are going back to now traditional racetracks moving forward. We got ourselves heading to Nashville Super Speedway and then back to the unique tracks of Lucas Oil Raceway at IRP. And then we come back to Motegi for their oval course. How are you feeling about these next three races on the schedule?
Honestly, I don't really know. I'm not looking forward to Nashville Super Speedway that much. I'm not very good there, or I wasn't when we went there about a year or two ago in a different league. IRP, I think that's going to be a really fun race. Should be good for the broadcast. That's going to be a home track for me, so that's exciting. Glad we got on the schedule. And then the oval at Motegi, I have no clue. Never raced on it. Don't really know much about it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll run some laps everywhere and hopefully come out with a few more wins.
I'll give you a little bit of a preview. If you've ever raced at Darlington, it's at the same shape as Darlington, just a little bit more unique racing, as we've got to see that on Monday nights for the ISRC Truck Series. But Vinny, congratulations on third place, at least getting a top three out of that unfortunate circumstance. But before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first off, Aaron for the win. Congrats to him. Good win. Brian for getting second. He wasn't here last week, so glad to see him come back and have some good speed and get a P2. All of our league sponsors, all my sponsors, Category 5 Esports, you guys for broadcasting, and my painter, Tom Sinchek.
That is going to be the number 15 machine of Vincent Sora. Congratulations on third, and good luck next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
As we go from our interviews, let's check out what the unofficial results are here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi's Grand Prix course. Got to see and talk to our top three on where they were at with that of the 70 machine of Aaron Smith second and getting the win here tonight. Brian Johnson going to come away with second, third going to Vincent Sora, but it's Chad Wilkes coming away with a fourth place finish. Ryan Bird able to recover for a fifth place for himself. One of our biggest movers of the night going to be Cedric Hunter in sixth place. Seventh goes to Zach Hall after his spill. He'll fall all the way down to there. Up to the eighth is Tom Sinchek. Larry Yingling saw him have his major off-track incident that really backfired, coming away with a ninth place finish, continuing on with his streak of finishing in the top 10. Brandon Colley going to be up in the finishing out our top 10 though for the one of Brandon Colley. Then it's the 0-1 of Aaron Kralik coming away in 11th. We look at the rest of the field. Biggest mover of the night award goes to that of Brad Delph in the 14, who was continuously battling up with that of Rich Jameson, Thomas Walter, plenty of others, but he was only able to move up 6 positions, but that was good enough for our biggest mover of the day, and some other drivers that were struggling deeper in the field. I mean, Richard Wolsifer we talked about and saw the replay of his incident with Vincent Sora. Just an unfortunate circumstance. One driver having a poor night. The other one thought he was having a great night. The forces came in to ruin both their nights again, as well as a couple of other drivers deeper in the field. But Robert, 30 laps at Twin Ring, over in Zun, and now we got to pack things up and we head to that in Nashville, Tennessee for our next destination next week. Man, I can't wait to get back to traditional racing. It was cool seeing the fog and being here in Japan for that the Grand Prix course at Twin Ring Motegi, but I'm ready for some more oval racing.
Oh, that's it. We go back to what we know on the driving side of things and what drivers will know too there, Sam. This was a unique race. Pretty cool to see. Congratulations to, WSSR, World Series Sim Racing, for putting this on and getting the setup for this, because as we know, the track don't come with the setup for these Gen 7 cars. So, getting that all put together, but like you said, we're going to go back to traditional. We go to Nashville. That's going to be a very fun track to watch, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you tune in next week when they go and hit that track. And then we head off the IRP. Out of the next three, Sam, this is the one that I am looking forward to. IRP. I think that's going to be a great race. Some beating, some banging, some. It's just going to be an overall race. So for the next 3 weeks, that's the track that I'm looking forward to seeing these guys out here and see who can walk away with the win. As Vincent Soar, that's his home track, and maybe he'll get to celebrate right there and then take the trophy and walk right home to his house.
Yeah, I would say if we're looking for traditional racing, next week might be the last time that we're going to see some great traditional. You've got a chance if you put in the practice and the time to run well up front, and then it turns into good luck. Let's just survive racing for the rest of the regular season, as the upcoming tracks and the schedule does not get any easier after next week. But for tonight, thank you so much for joining us through all of the shenanigans of the drivers on track, trying to stay on track, those caught up in messes, and overall getting to see a first-time winner this season in the 70 machine of Aaron Smith II. For future broadcasts, we touched on it at the beginning of the broadcast. We have a special event coming tomorrow night, Sunday. It is the Dave Bush Celebration of Life event. If you're still here watching, we would love it if you could join in on tomorrow's event. It is a big event for us here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, celebrating a driver that we've been able to cover here on FFB for a while. And we now get to celebrate his life. Got terrible news and sad news that Dave has a terminal illness and is on his last days, but we want to give him a last hurrah, celebrating the life of the number 53. Well, cannot wait for it. Then we're back to our normal schedule on Monday with the ISRC Truck Series. We're back with more Truck Series action for the Full Send Series on Tuesday. Wicked Racing League's back after their All-Star break for themselves on Wednesday. The Stars and Stripes Series on Thursday nights for the ARCA cars. And then we're right back here. Saturday fun, Nashville Super Speedway next week. Can't wait for it. For myself, Sam Dyer, for Robert Moyer, and usually it's Trevor Earhart up in the booth on Saturdays. Thank you for joining us here this evening, and for everyone else at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, thank you for watching. We'll see you on our next broadcast tomorrow night, Michigan, for the celebration of Dave Lives to Life.